Respected President and friends, I share with you the deep grief and sense of loss with Ambarish passing away. I had come to know Ambarish quite a few years before he joined CSD. He and I, along with Professor Muchkund Dubey, we were all part of the movement for winning right to education for the children of this country. Now, at that time, when I met him first, he was very, very young, much younger than most of us. He was about 20 years younger to me, but the passion that he had and the enormous experience at that young age that he brought with him. Now, these were greatly enriching experiences for us. Sharing his thoughts, that meant so much of enriching to many of us. Unfortunately, I had my very serious limitations in following Hindi. So language was sort of a barrier between us, but I think the shared vision was able to break that barrier. And gradually we managed to communicate to each other without any difficulty. And particularly his experience with in the peasant movement, now, and also with the workers in the trade union movement. These brought us insights into the vast majority of our children who lived life of utter poverty, marginalization, and also caste oppression. So this is an India that he made many of us feel very deeply about in our discussions. After years of working for winning this right to education, the Act was passed. Now, when the Act was passed, while many of us were very happy, it took us forward in many ways. Some among us, some among the main activists also, they were extremely disappointed because the ultimate objective of this movement, the goal for India's education horizon. Now, this was missed. That is the common school system with neighborhood schools. This was claimed to be an objective that we just could not dilute in any way. It is non-negotiable. This was the position taken by some who were in the leading positions in the movement. Now, people like Ambarish, Professor Dubey, and myself, we disagreed, and in fact moved away to some extent from that group, because we realized, when you think about the enormous distance that we have to travel now, achieving part of our objective itself must be celebrated. That must be consolidated before we go forward again. So that is the reason why Right to Education Act, though it had its limitations, it really opened up the space for most of us to work forward and also link the whole country into taking it forward. So this is where Ambarish came in very strongly. See, his rootedness in the soil of this country made us realize now it's a luxury for us to reject what had been gained. So we worked with him, and he was the one at that time who showed the way forward. His joining when he joined the CSD, I was delighted because I knew that he was sort of finding space for his dreams, finding institutional space for his dreams, and that would provide him the space where he will be able to share his vision with many kindred souls. And I was very happy to find that Professor Muchkund Dubey gave him full support, and this RTE forum was set up, and that was perfectly suited to the genius of Ambarish. And that is where he blossomed. He proved himself to be a great institution builder. Now, I come from the other end of India, and I know where, I know even there, the impact of his work was felt. And his reach went up to, Kanyakumari, went up to the districts of Tamil Nadu. And in fact, there were certain specific issues we had all shared with Ambarish, and he made us realize the unity of the cause of education in India. At the same time, the enormous diversity in which we need to understand, locate, and understand the problem of education. So between Tamil Nadu, that is claimed to be one of the forward states in education, and the state of Bihar, perhaps, where still the ground that has been to some extent covered in Tamil Nadu is yet to be reached. So he made us realize the diversity and made us understand how we should tailor our vision, tailor our programs particularly to the needs of each state. So that is how in Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, we had devised certain plans where we felt that certain issues, like for example the craze for English education, that was turning education into an elitist institution, privatization of education that is eating into the basics of equality in education. And Ambarish, his as I told you, his simplicity, his warmth, the photograph I saw, projected here, that was very typical. The pleasant smile with which he will win over everybody. So I'm sure the Right to Education Forum, the people who worked with him, they were very fortunate to be able to share every day his the nitty-gritty attention he played to. He made people understand where necessary. And so, last time I spoke to him, every time I came to Delhi, I used to meet him. But last time I spoke to him before Corona set in, there was so much to share, particularly the progress or the non-progress of the Right to Education Act across the country. This is something that he alone was recording. He was the only one who was looking into the state of progress or otherwise in each state, and made us all realize. I remember he's talking to me the last time. With all that we have done, still only about 10 to 12% of schools are RTE compliant. So when are we going to go forward? So this is how today we have lost a dedicated soldier in the struggle for education, because the struggle for education is a long winding war in India, and I do not know how we will be able to fill the gap that Ambarish has left behind. I remember speaking to Professor Dubey after he passed away, and he was really shattered and at the same time bewildered how RTE Forum can be continued, how RTE Forum can exist without his genius, his multifaceted genius. So we have lost a great social warrior, we have lost a multifaceted genius, we have lost a simple, a beautiful human being. So I pay my respects to him. I convey my deep condolences to his wife and son and the rest of his family. I am with all of you to mourn Ambarish's passing away. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I now